Today is the day where we finally get a new Brutal Black project video, and I think everybody who knows this kind of tattooing knows where it really comes from and is probably very curious about my opinion from that. So let's start. Hey my little life addicts, it's me Lily Lou. Here on my channel everything is about a little bit a different kind of life, an alternative life, how to keep life a little bit more strange, a little bit away from mainstream, a little bit away from all this shit what today's internet and today's culture is about. And yeah, today we have a topic I got a lot of questions over many years. It's about the Brutal Black project. What is nothing else than a couple of copycats of my style coming together and making this very ritualistic thing. So yeah, it's a little bit funny because I'm making a little funny video and I want to just take one sentence where we're taking a lot of piss out. And I look for Brutal Black project and I see he just loaded up something new, so we will just watch at it quick. I probably not show you the full piece. Yeah, I had to skip a little bit forward because that's the stuff I don't can look too much. It makes me just too sad. And yeah, I talked about copycats before. I have a link up here. And the guys who come there together are long-term copycats of mine. I know from both because they told me back the days. Some was on exhibition, some even was here in Thailand to get tattooed. Some knows this kind of experience here and they know what it was once mean for me. For me, my tattoo style was a lot about fuck the tattoo society. It was a little bit to go out of this, to go out of the norm, to go out of the mainstream, because I believe tattooing have much more roots and have much more meaning than just getting famous, getting money, getting known, just what we all know from media of tattoos this day. What is actually a point why I'm here now on YouTube, because everything what I look up in the media, it's just bullshit. And at one day, I think it would be very sad when something like this is the leftover of our culture here. When people like 3-4 generations after us, they're like, this generation back then, and they find stuff like this. And this is what transport or what? Come on, that's a big joke or not? And I know so many people take a piss out of this. Yeah, you find a lot of people on YouTube taking the piss out of this, and it is what it is. This is not about tattooing anymore. This is not anywhere close to be a ritual, because I know I make many rituals. I make many rituals myself. I make many rituals with a lot of persons. I mean, it's my style, I bring that up, I progressed tattooing that far. And for me, yes, tattooing was very ritualistic always, but a ritual is something very private. Not a PR joke, not something to just hype yourself in the internet. And the guys got very famous when they joined together with Vice magazine and they make the Brutal Black project for Vice just to get a video out over the most radical editor of our time, what is Vice. They make everything just, oh, it have to be so radical and so disturbing. And that is so fucked up. Because I know you guys, you once believed in something more with tattooing. You done. And you lie to yourself and you make shit like this and believe this is still what you once believed in. And I don't know. I don't know you guys sleep in the night. I don't know how your own ego can get that big, that brutal. It's like the brutal ego project, because this is not about the persons. This is not about rituals. This is about you. This is about you being the most dominant, the most brutal. Oh, awesome, guys. Awesome. Yeah, but I think it's not only me, it's a lot of people deep in the scene, a lot of people who really believe in more behind tattooing. We don't see something very nice and thoughtful about that. Also, it's called the Black Brutal Project, but there is not a real black. All what they do is scribbling around and stuff, and then they make the big interview and tell, oh, it's about the ritual and not about the aesthetic. But you have ever seen their normal tattoo work? I wouldn't say it's so much about aesthetic at all, you know. It's like a cheap copy of some other people's work, not even standing behind. At some point, we take a little bit the piss out of them on our platform, so they block us everywhere. Also, the other guy who normally was with them in the Black Brutal Project, it's very simple in the internet. Some people write, hey, you're a copy of this, and they just block it, and they just delete all the comments, and they just make it that it looks like it looks. But this is how modern world works. This is how society works. This is how media works now. It's not about who makes what and who makes it who. It's about how you sell it, how you promote it, how good you are with the internet, with selling yourself to why, selling yourself to media would take something very precious and just fuck it up for the sake of views, for the sake of, I don't know, I don't get this. And yeah, for us, tattooing is not brutal. Where this comes from, where this kind of style of tattooing comes from, this is never was brutal. An experience like this is not about pain. Pain is involved, yes, but it's not about being brutal or being anything. I always say here in Silent we are the softness of this brutality, because when you look what all the peoples do now with our style, it's just wrong. It's not about that. And everybody who comes here to Silent, who experience this here in Silent, they know all here is about love. All here is about life. And it's not about fuck up someone. It's not about hurt someone. It's about to give someone something for the rest of his life where he benefit from it. Also a big part why we not tattoo people's faces or hands or necks here. It's a long journey. You have to deserve this. You have to get the experience, because I don't want to have a 19-year-old who see this shit in the internet and like, I want to look that brutal. It's very cool now. And you tattoo his face and then 3 years later he regret it and he want to laser off it. Because this is sadly what it is these days. No, like a lot of kids, they get their lobe fixed. They got stuff lasered. They regret it. I tattoo people's faces, I tattoo people's hands, I tattoo full bodies, but it's a long process. And up to the point, I tattooed someone 70-80% of his body, and then I know he is ready for the face. And I know he have this experience. I know this person, I know he benefit from it. He goes positive with life, and it's maybe his little small ritual to go out of the norm, to go a little bit outside of society. And then I know this is something very meaningful for him. It's not about being tough, being hardcore, being brutal, looking so antisocial. It's about his own life, his own benefits of life. And that is the most meaningful thing about tattooing, what we lose these days. And the internet and stuff like this is a big part. Why are we losing this? And yeah, even when our style, or when this kind of style looks very brutal. And it's maybe from the technique I developed, they are more brutal than normal tattooing. It never was about the brutal. It was always about experience and also about the aesthetic. Because you can give someone an experience and you still can make it looks aesthetical, right? But for this you probably need to have some more skills. But these days, a lot of people, they are like, oh yeah, I make brutal work, I made abstract work, but they not can use the technical side of tattooing, they not mix it up in the right way. It seems like just an excuse. It seems like an excuse of not making more out of your own tattoo skills. So that's why probably a lot of tattooists, they prefer to tattoo a hand than tattooing a back piece, because it takes a lot more skills to tattoo a back piece than tattoo something simple on the hand. And in our modern world, it looks very cool to tattoo someone's face or someone's hand. And I never got this. I never got the point of why everything have to be so hardcore, so brutal, so unmeaningful. What is wrong with our generation now? This is really what is left over from the clients, left over from the tattoo artists, even called it tattoo artists. I'm not sure of this. And people ask me why I step back from tattooing. You know, tattooing is not like it was before for me. I see what happened. I see how the meaning of tattoos gets smashed and people give a shit and everything is about hype in the web. Tattooing these days is about who is the coolest tattooist, who is the most famous tattooist, what reputation from this tattooist, and blah 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 blah. The progression of tattooing is very minimalistic. We have a high quality of tattooing and we have a crazy standard of tattooing, and I not even want to imagine what is possible, because when I started the quality of tattoos was very low compared to these days, and still there was so much to progress. But the last years, most artists, they focus on themselves, on their web presentation, on the pictures and of everything around, instead of how they can progress their own skills of tattooing, how they can progress the experience of tattooing for their clients, how they can mix all of this together. And yes, a lot of people say that's all assumptions because I don't know about the experience of that clients. Here the people of Silent have to fix a lot of this stuff. They have to retouch it because it heals very, very horrible. And for them it's not about the final product, it's not about the healing, it's not about the persons, it's about how it looks in the web, having a nice flashy fresh picture, make some great with Photoshop to make it look even more black. And yeah, this is crazy. Also the kids starting getting just black sleeves with nothing under, and think that's so hardcore, they're so tough. I don't know, in my eyes, you guys, you're not tough. In my eyes, this is a process, and there's a lot more aesthetical stuff you can do with a sleeve than make it just black. It's very simple and boring. Also for me as a tattooist, this was the very, very last step to really make someone's arm just black. Because what is the point with this? What is the challenge? What you gain from it? It's the most boring thing. It's like an ape can do this. My 8-year-old daughter can do this the same as you can do. That's like, oh, that's your level of tattooing, guys. Even the background of the studio is copycat. It's so funny. It's amusing almost. When they make the first Brutal Black project, oh, we celebrated. That was the most ridiculous thing we ever seen. Oh, and with the music being so tough, being so hardcore. It's tough to be a hard, tough guy. I give that up. And I know why. It's not brings you forward as an artist to trying to run behind your male ego. That's like, look at me. I not even take myself serious anymore because fuck this shit, you know, fuck this male ego dominance shit, being the toughest, hardest guy in town. It's just a big joke, guys. When you want to progress as an artist, when you really want to move stuff, when you really want to move peoples, when you really want to change something. You have to change yourself first. You have to change your normal behavior. You have to break your own ego. That's why I was give up little swastika. That's why I was give up my male ego. That's why I created all this. I want to progress tattooing. I want that something is left over of this kind of culture, what is so meaningful to me, but the modern media completely smash away. And yeah, I not deny that pain is a big part of life, that pain is a big part of tattooing also here in Thailand. Everybody who ever come to me for tattooing knows I am probably the most painful tattooist in the world. And it was not a big secret. Everybody knows, and there was this big myth about that is very hard to go to me. That's probably the hardest challenge in your life. And I not and never denied that. But it was never about the pain. I never done anything just to cause more pain. I done everything just to do what I had to do to make what I do. It was not about pain. It was never about pain. It was never about being brutal. It was never about being tough or anything like this. Everything I ever done was about love. It was about the love and the passion I had for tattooing. It was about the persons. It was about the aesthetic. It was about the all together experience for everyone. That was what tattooing was to me. And the most saddest point about the copycats for me is not about that they copy me. It's about they copy a style who was stand for a rebellious movement within this tattoo generation, within this tattoo society, this modern mainstream tattooing thing what was happened. Tattooing being television, tattooing is everywhere, conventions, media. No, you see it even in a normal society, PR, in television promotions, in magazines. And my tattoo style was one stand against that. It was my step outside of this tattoo society. It was my rebellion to just take the normal tattooing and smash it. And now these guys, they take it and want to make it mainstream out of it and make it fashion and fame. And this is the most saddest part for me, because this style was stand once for something completely different. And still a lot of people who search that meaning in it, they still come here, they come to our little temple to experience all this, to not have to deal with that normal mainstream shit, with that normal tattoo studio stuff, fancy stuff, being professional, being hyped up. And yeah, you see the Brutal Black Project and you go there and there's more camera guys than tattooists. And I have to say, we make stuff like this many years before. We tattooed, as example, we tattooed a back piece of a very close friend. We was 4 tattooists and we tattooed the entire back in 74 minutes. And yeah, this was before this Brutal Black Project stuff, and we never even shared it. Because it was not about getting famous, it was not about getting hype, getting views, getting people see it as being tough, being the fastest, making the world fastest back piece. It was the world fastest back piece, but it was not about that. It was about challenging ourselves. It was about finding the borders, finding the limit, finding out what is possible, what we can do, how we can push a person, how we can push a ritual, how we can make this happen and share all this together, a few friends. And this was the output. And yeah, we shoot it, we record some of the stuff, but we never shared it, because the thing is, something like this, never ever someone will understand who was not there. Only the people experienced this will understand this. And all the rest of the normal world media, they will not see the beauty in it, because it's very difficult to show the beauty within this, because people see someone like me doing something very radical and they stamp me. And they stamp it as something freakish, as something abnormal, as something he must love pain, he must love fetish, whatever. But it's not about that. It's about love, it's about beauty, it's about expanding yourself, expanding your conscious. It's about so much more, and that is the beauty within that. That is the beauty what I want to show and why I'm now on YouTube. Because I'm out of all this, but I see myself now as someone want to document a little bit what is happen in our time. What is happen with the true core of people who still believe in this. The 1% of people within this alternative culture who 100% still stand behind it and not sell themselves and believe in what they once believed.
This is not black. What? This is not black. Questo non è un cazzo nero. Diglielo per piacere. Sta continuando a massacrare lui e non è un cazzo nero. Se deve diventare nero, lo fai nero una botta sola. Non è nero. Non è nero, cazzo! Porco Dio! Basically,
Yeah. Yeah, there's nowhere black. Nowhere black. There are just lines like every fucking... Yeah, there's nowhere real black. There's just some lines like kids can do. My daughter can do the same, you know. Oh, very brave guys. Very brave. Yeah, and you see in the credits already how much people involved in producing that clip. How much people was involved in that ritual. So guys, yeah, that's a very, very big topic, and yeah, I just see the clip today and I was thinking I will just sit down and watch it with you guys and will give you a few words of me, of what I think about. Yeah, and I know I can't change anything about it these days. My art is now running out in the world like something like this, and most people even forgot where it comes from, what's the origin. But who cares, it is what it is. Here in Thailand we still believe in what we do. We still believe in the love of tattooing. We still believe that you can benefit in life with it. That you still can live a little bit different. Tattooing isn't the mainstream as it is. And I really hope everything breaks down at some day. Because we still be here. We still believe in what we do. We're not here to get famous. We're not here to get rich. And we even more cheaper than the copycats. But yeah, you don't find us so easy. You don't find us everywhere. You really have to pilgrim here to Thailand, here in the nowhere, where no one really much finds us, because that is what's part of it is, you know. You have to go a little bit out of your way to get something special. You not just find it on the next corner. You not just find it anywhere. You're not just tipping good tattoo in the internet and you find this. This is not how life works. So anyway, guys, I hope you like this. You can check it out. Don't leave negative comments because they delayed it anyway. Because that's how the internet works. So guys, thanks for watching that. Also you haters, thanks for watching that. You Brutal Black Project guys, thanks for watching that, because I know you do watching that. And I know you follow me for many, many, many years. Much longer than all of my other subscribers out here. And that's it. Yeah, and do whatever you want with my style of tattooing, because it's very sad that you not have more artistical skills. And when you really want to prove something, then create something own, create your own world, your own reality, make something happen by yourself. Progress and not just step in someone else's feet. And see you next time. And keep feeding your ego, it have to be getting big. And keep feeding your ego, it have to get big and strong. Grown up ego.